So my weather app lied to me, and it turns out this was a terrible day to do a project like this, as it started hailing when I got the guitar strings. Anyway, I went ahead and grabbed some acoustic strings, which have a bronze wrapping on the outside. That bronze wrapping is 80% copper and 20% tin, which has a melting point of 16 to 1700 degrees Fahrenheit. Meanwhile, there is a steel wire on the inside of those strings whose melting point is much higher, so I'm thinking that'll add a cool effect to the Damascus pattern. And at this point, you'll see me chopping through that wire after giving it a wrap around my fingers, which kind of speeds up the cutting process. I go ahead and do it again, making sure to spill a bunch of guitar strings on the ground. I also thought some bass strings would look cool in there, just because the diameter's a little bigger. So I went ahead and chopped some of those up. Took longer because the strings were thicker. I also saw in the package that there's some zinc wrapped around those, so we'll see what that does to the pattern as well. It also took me quite a long time to get these guitar strings off the ground because I have no fingernails. I figured out the best method was to touch my pointers together and kind of flick it up into a catch. Aha! Once we were done with that, I went ahead to go start on the crucible. So I'm cutting the steel pipe to the same length as the guitar strings so that everything is nice and snug, and then made a couple caps, one for the top and one for the bottom. So after I welded that bottom cap on, I went ahead and threw some of those guitar strings in there, making sure they were as tight as possible so that there's not air in between so it welds better. Another thing that helps with that is to throw some flux in there along with some iron shavings to make sure there's really no air pockets in there. So it does not look like the rain's going to calm down anytime soon. So this might have to be a part 1 of 2. So for now, in part 2, I'll throw it in the forge, start squishing that thing nice and slow, get it to bond really nicely into a good little billet of Damascus that we can make stuff with. So stay tuned for part 2.